Welcome, everyone, to the 10th episode of the BSBN Podcast. Today, I got with me my co-host here. We have Vic sporting the BSBN hat over here. Look at that shit. It's fucking beautiful. And then we got Dan here not sporting the brand because, why support local businesses?
I don't have a way to get the hat. Sorry.
Fake fan.
Get one over to you, buddy. We'll get one over to you.
Okay.
All right. So I wanted to kind of touch on the beginning here for the podcast. I wanted to kind of touch on, I don't know how you guys feel about it, but we have the NFC conference as a whole for the NFL right now, basically a dogfight. Looking at the standings and whatnot, everyone is within a game of each other. There's no clear lock right now on this conference as to who's going to win. Even the NFC East, who we thought Eagles were a lock, are now only 2 games ahead of the Dallas Cowboys, who are on a 3-game winning streak against all playoff teams.
Yeah, I did not, at the start of the year, I did not see the division being this close of a dogfight. It's kind of insane the way this year turned out in the NFC, and now even in the AFC too.
Yeah, but the NFC for me is like the one here that we're like kind of locked in on, just because there's just so much there. Looking at the NFC East, even with Dallas and Philly, like I said, they're 2 games apart. The NFC North 9-3, 8-3, 7-5, and Detroit was the one that ends up slipping instead of Green Bay.
Yeah, and now you have Chicago jumping the Eagles and the Rams and being the number 1 seed in the NFC.
And the Rams end up taking a loss yesterday as well. You got the NFC South. You got the NFC South tied right now at 7 wins apiece between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who we thought was the team,
Panthers,
and the Carolina Panthers. And then the NFC West is the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Niners, all quite literally some of the best records in the NFC as a whole. They're all 9-3. Besides, San Fran, they're 9-4. They have 1 game played, and that's about it. So there's a lot going on here. What's your guys' take on it? Is there any kind of lock in this division? Is there someone that you like? There might not be in the standings, but is there anyone you feel is definitely going to be in the playoffs come playoffs? And is there anyone that you feel is going to be, is going to run again?
I have 3 teams that are a lock: the Bears, the Rams, and the Seahawks. They have been looking like the best teams in the NFC for a while now. Especially the Seahawks, that wide receiver core and somehow Sam Darnold have turned this team around. Their defense has been playing sharp. You look at the Rams. Matt Stafford is having an MVP caliber year that's getting completely thrown under the radar and not getting talked about until 2 weeks ago. Now people are starting to talk about his year. And then you have the Bears, which the Bears we all talked about at the beginning of the year. It was your sleeper team, Pat.
Yep.
Nobody expected the Bears to come out looking like a Super Bowl contending team, and they're proving everybody wrong right now. Caleb Williams does not look like the way he did last year, where he's struggling in the pocket, not being able to make the decisions. And Loveland is just becoming his number 1 guy over Odunze.
Yeah, same. I got same teams here that Dan said. Same locks, bro.
Okay.
Same exact locks, and all 3 of those teams share great defenses. I mean, it's a big part of their success, I feel like. San Fran too, man. Like, San Fran's got a great defense too. I didn't expect them to be coming out.
No.
With the way they started off too.
I completely forgot to mention them too.
9-4 right now on a 3-game win streak with the QB hurdles they have, with early struggles with Purdy, but the defense has remained consistent, since the beginning, even with the early struggles.
Injuries.
Yeah, another team with injuries, Tampa Bay. Like, I mean, I wouldn't have seen Tampa Bay struggling. I mean, yeah, they're still 7-5 and they're leading their division, but like, I don't know how, But yeah, I got the same 3 locks that Dan's got, and I mean, like you said, Caleb Williams too, man. Like, what a following year, the touchdown to interception ratio, and just his play. It's just jumped up a whole nother level. And that team looks good all around, man. The defense, man, he gets the guys involved. Like, he's not making much mistakes. It's hard to lose games when you're not making mistakes. and that's what's given his team a chance to win. Obviously, the Rams, bro, they just lost yesterday, didn't they?
Yeah, they just they lost
To,
Sunday.
was it to was it to Carolina? I mean, no.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
And in that
unbelievable.
And in that game, he
Frustrated.
didn't make mistakes. That was his first time he threw an interception
Yeah.
since week 3. He threw 2 interceptions that game. All because I put him in
Still right
fantasy.
there.
All because I put him in
Yeah, I
fantasy.
had him on the other, but I managed to squeak out a win on the other one. But yeah, that says it right there. Look, turnover-free football, he's going to win games. He's going to look good. Stats are all going to look up to par. Team's going to play good. You have one bad game, and you turn the ball over. You mess everyone up in freaking fantasy, and you lose the game. And that was a big game for Carolina to win, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I mean, I got the same 3 locks. I mean, I still feel like that week is. I mean, Dallas too is surprising me as well. But I don't want to get off topic. I mean, they've on a 3-game win streak. They got Quinn in, and look at them now, huh?
Yeah.
With 3 games in a row. Like, come on now. But yeah, those are my 3 same exact teams, man, and I give them to the quarterback play on all 3 of those teams. Of course, has been exceptionally well, other than Stafford's last game, but it's been consistent, good quarterback play, and the defense. All 3 of those teams, even San Fran, those teams have extremely consistent defenses. And there's a bunch of other teams on this list that do have a pretty solid defense too. But yeah, I'm going with the same exact 3 teams for the same 3 reasons. Good quarterback play, no turnovers, and straight consistent defense.
This might be a little bit more on the controversial side, but I only have 1 lock for the NFC as of right now. I don't even have 3 teams that I'm considering safe at this point. And for me, the one team that I'm expecting to continuously do good and stay within playoff range for me, and that does come off of this week looking at them, was just Seattle. Seattle is my lock for the NFC West. I think they take the division. I think that they simply are for me, they're the best team in that division. I like what San Fran does, obviously, with their defense. But I just still think they're a little bit too weak. And I think they will make playoffs. They could make playoffs for sure. They're 9-4. But I just think that Seattle right now, for me, is the best team versus a good team or a bad team. They put in week in, week out, and it's like even with mistakes. Darnold can throw an interception or 2, and that team is still going to come out and be all right. And they're gonna win these games for the most part. They've come out and shown that. Los Angeles, for me, the Rams, the reason why I'm not putting them in the lock is because of that exact thing. That QB play is vastly important, but the moment that Stafford even remotely messed up, the game is out. And now, obviously, that can be said about any team.
Yeah, but Carolina also played a very good game.
Yeah, but mistakes can be made.
To come back and stay in the fight.
Mistakes can be made, but for me, I think that like Seattle right now is my lock, and that's the only lock that I'm putting in here for it, just because I just think that they are the most solid team for me in the NFC at the moment. I like them the most. I would have said the Bears as well, but here's my thing about the Bears, right? The Bears have played, they've won, I think it was their 5 games right now in a row or something like that. And out of their 9 wins, if you go look at them, out of their 9 wins, I believe only 1 of them is against a playoff team right now. So I kind of have the same feeling with them as far as the Colts, which is I have to see what they look like when they have a hard schedule. They did just beat the Eagles, which was huge for them. That was huge, and that was a good game. But they have the rest of the schedule is tough, and I want to make sure that like I know going into it that they could still go ahead against these teams and come out on top. I mean, they're 9-3, really not much to complain about. They went 0-2, went on a big streak, lost 1 game, and then went on an even bigger streak. So for me, they are a good team. I like them. I love the way they look. I love Caleb Williams. I think he looks great. I love their receiving core, like Dan said. I like Loveland, how they've now started to incorporate him, because early on, it just felt like he wasn't doing anything on the team. It's like, why'd you guys draft this kid if you're not going to use him? Now they're using him. I think it just took a little time for them to kind of get adjusted to it. But yeah, I like Seattle. Out of every team in this game, like out of every team in this NFC, right now I have them as a lock. And I was gonna go into. I was honestly I was leaning towards even like what you were saying, Vic. I was gonna kind of maybe even put in Dallas but I didn't want to put that in there because I just felt like that was going to be too much. Because they're on a 3-game win streak, which good for them. They made out like bandits during the trades. As of right now, obviously they don't have first round picks worth anything for the next couple of years, but
Yeah.
they came out, they got players. Now it's just a matter of you don't have any future star depth coming out of the drafts for the next couple of years, so you desperately need to kind of get into that win now kind of mode. You have George Pickens there. You have another receiver that they can catch besides CeeDee Lamb. You have sort of a defense now. You still need some cornerbacks back there, but you're doing all right so far. You got a 3-game win streak later in the season, which I say is a really good thing, obviously. But
Yeah,
I still
could definitely.
I could see them making a push here because they're really not that far out from the playoffs, but at the same time, it's such a dogfight. Even with their win streak, it's hard for me to say, hey, they can make it because San Fran's still ahead.
Philly really hasn't really even played that good this year either, man. For the record
really
that they
not.
have, they're really not. Like, they can lose that shit like this. Especially they're on a 2-game skid right now.
Yep. Right now at
Philly,
the moment.
you know what I mean? Like, this is December football. Like, this is crunch time right here. Like,
and they have the end of the year is kind of tough. You have Los Angeles, then you have Washington for the division, and then you have Buffalo. I mean, the Raiders
tough schedules coming up.
They should beat the Raiders, obviously, but at this rate, the way that the Eagles have been playing, who the hell knows what team's going to show up on a week-to-week basis?
Well, for me, I think that they have an easier schedule for me because I think they're going to be the Commanders. Yeah, they could be, but I still like them over the Commanders in both of those games. And then the Chargers, they got a lucky break because Herbert is going under surgery, so we don't know if he's going to be back a little bit.
Yeah,
he's got hand surgery coming up.
That puts a pause on that team. And then, bro, these schedules are crazy. Like, even Seattle's schedule, like, yeah, Darnold's been playing good. That defense is really what is the structure of that team because he's got 19 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Like, it's not immaculate, and he's got to go up against playoff contending teams. The Falcons, the Colts, the Rams, the Panthers, and the Niners. That's how he's finishing the season. He has to play turnover-free football, and the defense is going to carry that team because they've won a lot of close games this year, man, Seattle. And I put their defense up there on a pedestal because that is what wins them these games, getting those turnovers, giving them more possessions, more time on possession against teams. But, like, they have to play good football too because they're not. Look, the Falcons just lost to the Jets. They're coming out with a vengeance to try and win. They got a chip on their shoulder. They lost a game that I don't know how the hell they lost that. Flowers to my Jets. Progress being made there. Then they got the struggling Colts who we don't know what's going on with them. They're on kind of like a up and down coast. I don't know, that fire. I don't know if that's fatigue kicking in or what. Then you got the Rams who they lost against. Or is it the
play of Daniel Jones?
Daniel
Jones hasn't been looking like the... And
Sauce is hurt now.
Acknowledges too. Daniel Jones hasn't... And I'm going to give you your props, Pat. Is it the Daniel Jones that we all expected to show up at the beginning of the year, finally starting to come out for the Colts?
I don't know.
But a team that I'm considering like a outside looking in type team for the NFC is definitely Carolina. Carolina could definitely make the playoffs because we're seeing the Buccaneers completely struggle this year, and especially since the injuries that they've been occurring.
It's all injuries for them.
They're 7-5. Carolina's 7-6. Carolina could win that division if the Buccaneers don't turn their play around.
It's going to be hard for them. That's just an unfortunate situation. Losing quite literally every receiver you have for most of the year.
Yeah, but Baker Mayfield
for most of the year.
Everybody was talking about this at the beginning of the year that Baker Mayfield was having a MVP caliber season, and his play has been average.
Well, he lost his guys.
It's a pretty banged up team too.
He lost his
pretty banged up team since the beginning of the season.
Yes, I agree, but you're looking at what the 49ers are doing. They're all banged up. They have nobody, and they're getting wins and being 9-4. So
but their defense,
it's very like
They got a
Ooh.
way better defense.
Oh
than
yeah, hold on,
Atlanta,
because because like for me, that defense is so much more crucial to me than Tampa Bay's. Like Tampa Bay has like
Tampa
they're
Bay
good on
has built that
offense.
team for a defense. And even with
It hasn't been playing
ever
good.
since Tom Brady has there, that team has been built for defense, and they've been a very good defense in the NFC, Tampa Bay. So, is it Tampa Bay's defense or
Put it
it's?
on him. I don't think it's Baker Mayfield. In my opinion, I don't think it's Baker Mayfield at all. I'm not looking at this going, it's him. For me, Baker Mayfield is fine. Like I like the way Baker Mayfield is. It's just quite literally you take away all those injuries, but we can't. That's the name of the game is injuries are going to happen. That's just kind of the point. But when he had his guys, you saw him going up against good teams or decent teams that they were putting up a fight. And then the moment they started
I mean,
losing
he still
players,
has one of his guys in Mbuka.
one, and that's a rookie. Like he's doing good, don't get me wrong, but it's still at the end of the day, he was a third receiver for this team. He wasn't the number one or two. You still had Godwin and Evans, and they've been in and out. And even Mbuka was injured a game or two already this season. Like they went into one game. I didn't know a single receiver on that team. They were playing with practice squad members. It looked like the
I don't
Giants
know.
for a
I
moment for
still
me.
say that if you have injuries, you need your guys to step up, and it's
Yeah.
just I think Carolina's have been playing great football. They can find a way to get into that playoff hunt
Yeah,
if Tampa
sure.
continues to struggle.
Carolina has been playing good. I'm not saying they're not playing good at all. I just think that the defense as a whole, like it's injuries in the defense to me because like for me they're just not. Baker Mayfield right now is at 2,600 yards, 19 and 5 on the TD interception ratio, which is not bad to me. It's really not that bad. His quarterback rating's a little like lower, but he's still 11th in the league on that. So for me, I'm just I don't know. I think that he's the problem. Even with injured guys, he's still 19 and 5. He's doing better than Daniel
I mean,
Jones
look at
with all
those
these
stats you
starters.
just said. Those are Caleb Williams stats. But look at the difference. I mean, it's not far fetched off the record, but it's the defense. The Bears play great defense when they're
They
playing
do.
football, and
Phenomenal.
Tampa's defense has been struggling a bit, and they've been banged up on injuries. I mean, I could have seen him having a lot more touchdowns right now, but there's still 5 games left, so
Yeah.
they could surge.
And I'm not saying that this is Baker's fault or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, when you look at their schedule, at the beginning of the year, even when Tampa did have their guys, all their games were 3-point games. The first 5 games of the year, one game was a blowout in a sense against the Eagles. But even then, all these games are very close games. The first 5 games.
Yeah, and look at the points.
And Mayfield won those games in every 2-minute drive of those close games.
Yep, and then the defense.
Look
how many points the defense is giving up in all these games against the Falcons, which at the beginning of the season they were banged up. They lit up 20. They only won because of a field goal miss by Koo, who also I think is about to get cut or it did get cut by the Giants again after that horrible performance.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he got cut because
again, that was I've never seen that in football ever.
That should have never happened.
With that, if you don't know what we're talking about, he kicked the dirt. He went to go kick a field goal and his foot went into the dirt.
He slipped.
Never heard that. Never seen that before. And the Texans, they lit up 18 points, which is all right. Against the Jets, a struggling Jets team, the defense in the second half basically gave away 27 points. Nearly lost that game. But again, Baker Mayfield comes out on top, gets a really good drive, comes out and wins the game for them against the Jets in the last 2 minutes. The Eagles, they only lost by 6 points. I'm not considering that a blowout, but they let up 31 points there. 35 points against the Seahawks.
Wasn't that the block? No, that was not the block field goal. They had the block field goal. That was the block field goal.
No, that was the block.
Oh, yeah. They had back-to-back weeks with the block field goal. Yeah, they had the block.
So it was there as well. So the Seahawks, they lit up 35 points. Baker Mayfield wins them that game, gets 38 points. I mean, I don't know how much more you're expecting of him to really get stuff on there. The 49ers, they lit up 19 points. He gets 30. The one game in which he doesn't go the hell off, and again, injuries are starting to play a factor in this, is against the Lions, and they still get 24 points. Against the Saints is their best game, but it's the Saints. I mean, I'm not really giving them too much props on the Saints playing good defense against them because it's the Saints. No. And then the Patriots, they lose. The Patriots have been a juggernaut as is, but they give up 8 points there. Against the Bills, they let
I mean, look at what they did to the Giants.
Yeah, against the Bills, they went ahead and dropped 44 against Tampa Bay. The Rams put up 34 points. It's like all these there's a lot of points given up by this team on defense. It's hot, so they can build off defense. It doesn't mean the defense is going to be good. Like at the beginning of the season, what is it? The Jets were a very heavy defensive team, and obviously, granted, there's other factors going into it, but they still have a lot of points on that team as well. Even game one, before all the fatigue and whatnot, the Jets put up a good amount of points, and they still couldn't let up on, and the defense still couldn't stop Aaron Rodgers in week one. Teams meant to be played for defense don't always do good on defense. Sometimes it's play calling. Sometimes it's the situation with the offense not being able to get off the field, getting off the field too quick, whatever the case is. But I don't think Baker Mayfield's the problem with this team, for me personally. I think the Carolina Panthers are doing good, but I don't think they're doing good enough to where I could say I put them where I would. I still don't think of them in the same league as where Tampa Bay is. I think how the hell Carolina's winning their games, and I've watched a few this year, and I still don't know how they're winning. It baffles me, because I'm like, this offense doesn't look crazy, the defense doesn't look crazy, but they're putting up, they're minus 50 in differential right now, and they're 7-6. That's a problem.
Yeah, and Tampa's minus 22.
They're minus 22. But again, I could also see that one because, again, the defense, like I said, has been one of the worst. They are the worst one in that division as well, with putting up 301 points against. But their offense is also the best out of that division by 30 plus with 279. So I put up. So I mean, like for me, I don't know. I think just when I look at that division, it's crazy. But I don't know. I don't think Tampa's like the issue is Baker Mayfield. They're riddled with injuries, and yeah, it's next man step up, but that doesn't always mean the next man stepping up is going to be an all-star caliber player. They're not going to replace a Mike Evans, a Godwin, or an Mbuka, or a Bucky Irving. Rashid White is not going to replace Bucky Irving. All these, I don't even know the names of the receivers, are not going to replace Mike Evans and all these guys that are putting up 1,000-yard seasons for you consistently. They're just not going to happen. It's not easy to do. San Fran just has the luxury of they have scored the least in their division out of the playoff contenders so far, the three we named, but their defense has also let up way less points than their offense has, more than the other two teams as well, but they also have a struggle at offense too. The defense is keeping them in these games. Mac Jones is literally held on by a thread. He was keeping them in these games. And now I think Purdy's back in.
Brock Purdy got the start last week.
Yeah, so he's back in. He won his game. So, I mean, we'll see how it goes. But for me, like the injuries play a factor on every team, but not every team has the backups that can come in and really take over the show. So, but yeah, no.
I think.
What's up?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, what do you guys got Green Bay finishing the year? They got the Bears, Broncos, Bears, Ravens, Vikings. I got them winning 2 out of those 5 games.
Wow. Okay.
I kind of agree with you because it's going to come down to if they can beat the Bears. I mean, we obviously know they could beat the Lions because
I think they'll split. I think they'll lose to Denver and Baltimore, though.
I could see him
finish against the Vikings with a W.
I mean, Denver has been looking very good. That Denver team has, especially after what they did last week and or this past weekend, and especially that quarterback throw that what's his name had? Oh my God, who's their quarterback? Nix had, where his knee was almost inches from touching the ground, and he got the ball to Staten. That was an awesome play. So, and their defense is showing up in these prime moments, because that game against the Commanders could have been either game, and who knew what the Commanders were going to do with Mariota at quarterback, and he's been stepping up for that Commanders team to keep them in fights recently.
That is another one where I felt like the Broncos could have lost, though. Literally, that overtime was so bull. Like, I did not like that overtime at all. Like how many
Yeah, it
times
could
did
have
the
gone either
Commanders?
way.
How many times did the Commanders get into the end zone and then it get taken back? I think it was like a total of 3 times, something like that, where they just kept getting into the end zone, taken back by a flag, end zone, taken back by a flag, taken back by a flag,
Yeah,
and then
so
they get
many
in there,
unnecessary flags in that game.
and then they get in there finally, and they're like, all right, we have nothing to call, we're just gonna let it go, and then they throw a 2 version, and obviously it gets deflected. Big play by the defensive lineman, that's huge, but like they really could have lost that game easily. That was escaped by the skin of their teeth by in a trap game for sure. Hey, Green Bay, I got like I could see them winning 3 games. I could see them splitting with the Bears. I don't think like the Bears are bad at all. I
That's
think
what
their
I'm
defense is
saying. They're
great.
going to split.
I think they could beat the Bears in one of these games, and I'll take them at home to win against the Bears, and I'm having to lose against them in Soldier Field. Because Bears deserve that. They deserve to win at home, and one of my great friends goes
That's
there for the
next
games.
week.
Yeah, and
They're
then
playing in Lambeau next week.
and then I
Or
disagree
this week coming up.
about the Ravens. I think they could beat the Ravens in this one. I don't think the Ravens are nearly as good of a team as this year at all. I mean, they just got turnovers against the worst defensive team in the league. Like, I don't know. Like, that team is in shambles right now for me as well. The receiving core isn't there. They're relying on heavily their tight end. You lock up Mark Andrews. Who are you throwing to? Zay Flowers? He's for me not a number 1 wide receiver. I've said this before in the past. He's not a number 1 wide receiver for me. So I don't think that once you stop that Mark Andrews, once you stop him, it's pretty much all right. We're good. We're right because the run game hasn't been impressive, and then Lamar just has no one else to throw to right now. I think they're in dire need of someone else there on offense for them to throw
Yeah,
to.
I think they can go 3-2.
I can have them go
But I
3 and
also
2 right
see
now.
where they can go 2-5 or 2-3.
Yeah, I can see them
So
going 2
it's
and 3.
very
I could see them going 1 and 4 as well, but I have them going 3 and 2. So I have them finishing off at what's the record here? So they would be 11 5 and 1 is what I would have them at basically. I think they would finish.
Here's the thing. Do we think on this podcast that the Lions are going to be able to make the playoffs this year?
It's another tricky one here because
It's a big game this week coming Thursday against
their
Dallas.
next 5 games is Dallas, the Rams, Pittsburgh, Minnesota, Chicago.
Probably one of the biggest games of the week right now is this Detroit and Dallas game.
I say
I'm
the
damn
next
watching
two
This
are the
game's going to
biggest
say a
games.
lot.
I'm damn near watching that because that's a big game, and then Detroit has one of the toughest schedules left remaining. Again, they have to versus Dallas on a hot streak, beating playoff teams. They're not even in a playoff team right now. They're not doing too
Next
great.
week you have the Rams.
Yes, you did.
Yep. Then the Rams after that, the Steelers after that, and then what's it called? The Steelers are not that great either. And then you have the Vikings. Then you have to finish off against a division rival, which is the Bears. I think this game, like Vic said, this is going to be a big telltale kind of game right now for both teams.
Both teams, this is going to dictate exactly
who's definitely out for me.
Who's getting
at this point?
Yeah.
Like who's out and who's going to make it? Maybe not in, but who's going to remain in the hunt is the winner of this game. Now watch them both tie. That'll be so stupid right now if we get another tie from Dallas.
Imagine this though, this situation. And you're going to think I'm crazy. But imagine the Packers tie both games with the Bears. And it comes down to this game. The Lions versus the Bears for who gets the division.
That has never happened in the history of Everdom, and I don't
that will never happen for betting odds, bro. They will never do that.
I'm just saying, if that does happen, that would be kind of insane, no?
That's more improbable than a 29-yard punt. Which never even spoke about, by the way. I don't even know where that even came from. Oh, like, what the hell, Browns? Like, what are you doing? I didn't even want to speak. I just think that was just like, I didn't watch the game, and I was like, when I saw the clip, I was like, a 29-yard punt. What is everyone talking about? And I watched it. I was like, you guys actually punted 29 yards? What are you doing? Kick a field goal. Do you not have a kicker? Who's back there for you? But whatever. But yeah, no, this is a big game. This is probably the biggest game, if I'm not mistaken. This could be game of the week immediately, like right off the rip. Just kind of looking at it, because I don't see like much else. Oh, I mean that, and then obviously Chicago and Green Bay. those two are like the must-sees for me right now this week. I'm locking in on both of those because I feel like those are both just really, really good games. You know.
And since we're talking about playoff contenders, out of all the playoff contenders in the East, or in the NFC, I think Cowboys might have the easiest schedule to end their season and try to make a playoff.
Really? Well, I don't even know who they
Yeah,
verse.
you have the Lions and you have Minnesota. Like you said, Minnesota has been struggling all year. They haven't looked like they can't get a quarterback situation figured out. Then you have the Commanders
And then the Giants.
And then Washington, then the Giants to close out the year.
You just said the Commanders, then you said Washington. Yeah, they had the Commanders and then Washington is what you just said.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I said the Commanders.
The Chargers, then the Commanders. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. You good? Yeah.
No, okay, listen. There's times where I want to call Washington the other name, but
Yeah, let's
the
go.
Good old Redskins.
Let's throw Dan.
But,
Dan's got concussion protocol. Let's throw him in the blue tent real quick. I have the dog go check on him.
Dart belongs.
And then I guess going off of that, I mean, we have the AFC here, which is also pretty close. But the biggest topic for me at the moment out of this AFC conference is because they are so lackluster this year. For me, I said the best teams always came out of the AFC. Out of like at least the last 20 years, I feel like the AFC has been the most dominant thing that we've seen. Both the best in the conference still come out of the AFC, out of the whole NFL, come out of the AFC. Obviously, the New England Patriots taking the number 1 spot now at 11-2, and then Denver now being 10-2. Which they're both on 9 and 10 game win streaks, which is crazy. But the big division, we spoke about it earlier, is this AFC South. You have 3 teams here that I was not expecting to be having a dogfight, especially with Indianapolis really showing like they were the team at the beginning of this season. Now start taking a fall off, and you have Houston, which I don't even know what they're doing. These guys have been on crutches. They're 7-5 now. One game out of this AFC South like dogfight at the moment. And then you have Indianapolis, who was on a 2-game slide, now 8-4, and second in their division. And Jacksonville, who's 8-4, now the division leader, tied for it, but they win the tiebreakers, I believe, due to the division wins or something like that. I don't know what it is right now that they're. Oh, it's the no. Is it the conference? What the hell would be the deciding factor here for them? I don't even know. It's just because they won through. I'm so confused as to what the deciding factor is here for them. Because they're supposed to go off division games first. They're both 2-1. Maybe it's the head-to-head. Did they verse head-to-head and Jacksonville won?
No, they play Indianapolis this week.
Oh, okay. So it's a big game.
Are you talking about Jacksonville?
Yeah, Jacksonville and the Colts. I'm trying to figure out what the deciding factor is here for them.
Jacksonville's schedule, man, they're playing the rest of their schedule are running teams that rush the ball, and they are first in stopping the run. It's just that defense has elevated them to be where they're at. I don't think it's that offense at all. But they're playing the Colts, the Jets, the Broncos, the Colts, and the Titans. 3 of those teams, for damn sure, mainly run the ball, which is the Colts twice over and the Jets. Yeah. And they are the best right now at stopping that. And then they got Denver and the Titans. The Titans is a guaranteed win. I'm giving them that. And the way the Colts are playing right now, they haven't been able to run the ball that great these past couple of weeks. The Daniel Jones whole deal and spiel. They lost Sauce right now. I don't know for how long. Something with his calf, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the Colts are going to come out looking like. Jacksonville's got a good chance at winning a couple of these games here, setting themselves up nice. And I had them falling, slipping, and yeah, it's I was just looking at that now. Crazy.
Yeah. They end up sliding. They go down 2 games. Jacksonville comes up. They're on a 3-game win streak. Houston is on a 4-game win streak. You know, it begs the question first off, what happened to the Indianapolis Colts? Why are they now struggling? Because, like you said, I think it's some of it has to do with the run game. I also think some of it has to do with what Dan said earlier, is which I've been calling all season long. I do think that Daniel Jones is not really playing his best game. I think this is what I've expected out of him. At the earlier season, I know we called it, but that's why I wanted to kind of gauge everyone's perception on the kid, because I wanted to know what everyone felt about this guy. Is he a 3-year, is he a 4-year, $40 million a year player like the Giants put him at that time? Or is he going to be like all right, let's give you a 1-year chance? Like, where did you guys evaluate him at the beginning of the season, just looking at like how he's doing? Me as a Giants fan, I already looked at him like I could play. It had nothing to do with just a bad line. I've seen Jaxon Dart take hits, scramble, do everything he had to do, and still look like an elite quarterback, even in a loss, compared to what I've seen Daniel Jones do in 4 years of playing. So for me, I'm like, I don't know, like, or more than 4 years actually. I don't even know how many seasons was he with the Giants. He was like there for like 5-6 seasons almost. It feels. But yeah, no, I got to know, because Houston is a big thing for me. I don't know how the hell they got a 4-game win streak here. That's nuts to me. They're 7-5. They're 1 game away. They also have a pretty decent
with the Giants.
6, but they also got a pretty decent schedule here, and they didn't beat bad teams. They beat the division rivals. They beat the Jaguars. They beat the Colts. They beat the Titans, which is the Titans, but they also beat the Bills in a close game as well. They've beaten 4 teams in a row. And the teams they have won against have been teams that are, kind of decent. They beat the 49ers. They beat the Ravens, although I think that was mainly because of I don't know if that was at the time the lack what's his name? Lamar Jackson? I don't know if that was a week where he was injured already, but they blew him out 40-10. They beat Jacksonville. They beat the Colts. It's like they're doing pretty damn good. At the end of the season, who are you guys taking for this division? Where do you guys have it? What do you guys have? Is it Jacksonville's defense that gets you to win? The Colts come back on offense, or is it Houston that comes out and who's been playing phenomenal ball recently?
I think it's hard to say who wins this division, because when you look at the Colts, like we were stating earlier in the year, or earlier on when we were doing the podcast, you had the Colts nearly got a victory against Denver, which were one of the harder teams they had to play. It came down to that last-second field goal, that whole debacle of a mess with the flag and everything.
Yeah, I still felt they could have lost that one.
And then they played the Rams and lost to the Rams. So those were their 2 toughest games coming into the beginning of the year. Now you're seeing the Colts primarily struggle against playoff contending teams. One last week or 2 weeks ago against Kansas City, they lost in overtime against Kansas City. Then they lost against Texans. I'm sorry. And now the schedule that's remaining, they have Seattle, they have San Fran, and they have Jacksonville twice. So this is the hardest part of their schedule coming up. And I can see a world where they can go 2-5, because I can see them splitting against Jacksonville. Houston already beat them, and they're playing at Houston. Houston beat them in home. And then you have Seattle and San Fran, and those are going to be 2 tough games for this Colts team.
Very tough games, and those are hungry games for both the Seahawks and the 49ers. Is they both need wins right now to keep up in that division. So they're not going to go.
And you already seen the play. You already seen the play coming out of Seattle. That offense is a juggernaut offense. Whether it's their defense keeping them in games, but Donald and JSN has this connection that look unstoppable, and it's very hard.
He's on pace to get 2,000 yards. On pace right now to get 2,000 yards, that kid. It's crazy. And he still has 6 games remaining. He's broken the record that DK Metcalf set with 6 games remaining. That shows, 1, how good this kid is. 2, again, I'm going to keep saying it over and over again, how overrated DK Metcalf is. I'm sorry. I don't apologize, actually. I'm going to take it back.
And then you look at Houston's schedule. They have Kansas City, Arizona, Vegas, the Chargers, and Indianapolis. So... But Jacksonville, like I said, they have to play the Colts twice, and I'm going to look at their schedule and see who they have.
Vic, who do you have in
Oh
this
my God.
division?
I gotta go with the numbers here, man, and the defense. And what I'm seeing is Jacksonville's defense looks exactly like the Colts defense did maybe the first 6 weeks of football. And Colts defense is looking like Jacksonville's defense looked the first 6 weeks of football. They've steadily been giving up more points, the Colts, and not playing great defense. And clearly they're having some issues on offense. And that team is solely based. That team has to run the ball successfully in order for that Daniel Jones to open up the playbook and to be successful. That's what the scores show, and that's what the schedule shows against the teams that they've played. The games they haven't ran the ball good. He hasn't played great, and if they did win, it was an extremely close game, whether it was a good team or a bad team. Jacksonville, on paper right now, is the best at stopping the run. They're playing the Colts twice, so if the Colts don't run the ball good twice in those games, it's either going to be a split or Jacksonville's going to take both. You're seeing it a lot now. Like, if a team ain't got a great defense, they got to run the ball. We're seeing the running game is coming back. You know what I mean? It is. It's coming back big time.
So happy.
Because these quarterbacks are realizing you ain't got these pocket quarterbacks anymore. You know what I mean? And the few that you do, they still need a running back because it's like that running back and defense age is coming back, which I am very happy about because that's football right there. What is this? Tyrone, leave me alone. I'm busy. I'm going to take Jacksonville as the lock, going off their schedule, man. I got them beating the Titans. I got them at least taking one from the Colts. I could see them beating the Jets. I mean, I'm a Jets fan, and the Jets be doing some crazy kind of crap. But if that game comes down to the fourth quarter, I'll give it to the Jets and the Broncos too. Like it's hard. Their defense has gotten a lot better in the last 6 games. Jacksonville, they're giving up less points. They've won a couple of close games, and the schedule hasn't been. I mean. They lost to the Texans. They beat the Raiders. Chargers only gave up 6. Cardinals 24. Titans 3. You know what I mean? They're starting to gel. They're coming into their own, coming into December. I mean, I don't know. I had this team sliding. I really did because of Lawrence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're doing it. They're doing it. They're doing it somehow. They kind of reminded me like of Pittsburgh a little bit, like when winning games in hockey, they just find the ways to win. But the defense is really what's holding them down. It's allowing them to put themselves in positions to win the game. So I haven't watched much of Houston. I know you said they're on a streak right now.
Yeah.
I gotta look. For me, the 2 teams, it's either the Colts or Jacksonville, and I'm gonna go defense for me. Always trumps. Defense will always trump
Offense.
You know what I mean? Always. It always what's gonna win you the game. Your offense can only take you so far. Even though those years Tom Brady won, bro, they had defenses behind them that came up and made great plays. And that's what Jacksonville continues to do, even in these close games. They make those clutch plays. And that's what calls for a great defense is when your defense can step up in crunch time and make a play to get you the ball back to score. And Jacksonville's defense, I think, gives them the best opportunity of doing that out of those 3 teams. So I'm going to take Jacksonville as the lock.
I want to take
in that division.
I want to take Jacksonville as well. Part of me even wants to make the bold statement of I think that the Colts at this point. They could still very much. I could be wrong on this 100% because I don't think they're nearly as bad as like their 2-game slide predicts they will be. But I do think that Bill, like you said, their defense has been really good. The offense has been crazy bad, even with missing Travis Hunter. Their defense has still been really good, and their offense has still been like decent. So I don't know. I don't know how much of a factor he really played, but no respect to him, but I just right now for me, I'm taking Jacksonville as well. And then my next team after that, I want to say will be Houston to be second in that division. The stats just don't show it. I was trying to see why they were winning their games. I was trying to look into them while you guys were talking. I was like, what is Houston doing right now that's really like getting them their games to going, Like what is it going? Because even against their win against the Colts, Stroud did good. 276 yards, 62% completion ratio. Not bad. But he still didn't throw an interception. He still didn't throw a touchdown. He threw an interception this game. and that was it. So like I don't know where he's kind of coming from. I don't know where this team's coming from in wins, but I mean his QBR is sixth in the league, better than Baker Mayfield's even, but he's just not doing too great anywhere else. He's 11-6 on touchdowns, not even 2,000 yards yet on the season for throwing. Their running backs don't look crazy. Their defense, I think, might be the key factor here in what's getting them their wins, is what I'm going to say here. But I just don't think their offense right now looks strong enough to go ahead and carry them past Jacksonville. Because I think that Jacksonville will beat them as well. I think they'll outbeat them. And then the Colts, I don't know. I think the Colts have just, with their slide, I think that's going to probably put a little bit more question on Daniel Jones. And now once the lights are on him and people are kind of seeing how he plays, I think that's when you start seeing that nervous Daniel Jones you saw on the Giants. We're now going to see, all right, hey, I'm going to throw it to that guy, the one guy that's on my team. I don't know any of the other ones because I'm just going to read that one guy, and that now I'm going to throw it to the guy I'm reading. He's in triple coverage, don't care, throwing it. I don't know. That's the Daniel Jones I've always seen. That's the Daniel Jones I still see, even with his TD ratio, I think being 19-7 is what I looked at earlier.
Yeah, I didn't realize Houston's
terrible.
defense really is what's winning them their games.
That's
I mean,
what I have
just
to come
on
down
paper.
to.
Total yards first, passing yards fourth, rushing yards fourth, points first, third down percentages second.
And it's like that's what it's going to come down to. And they don't have a terrible schedule coming up. They got to verse the Chiefs. Now, normally, would have said that's like a lock for the Chiefs, but I don't know, because the Chiefs, I don't even know what the hell's going on with the Chiefs this year. They're what, 6-6? Who cares about the Chiefs this year? So I don't know. They could beat the Chiefs. Cardinals, they can beat the Cardinals. Raiders, they can beat the Raiders. The Chargers, if they don't have Herbert back by then, they can beat them. And then you have the Colts, which they've already beat them. So they can honestly, they could go 5-0 in the rest of this and the rest of this thing.
It's very hard to predict this division because you have, Jacksonville has been doing great. Their defense has been great, and their offense is the struggle on that team. But then you look at the Texans, and like Vic just read off, their offense has been keeping them in games, and their defense has turned around from the start of the year. If the Colts continue to slide, you can see, and it was a very clear shot that they could win their division, the Colts. You can see them slip up, and it's going to be a Jacksonville Texans making the playoffs over the Colts. It's hard to predict this division, really. But I think it's going to be, like you guys have been saying, I think Jacksonville's going to end up winning the division. But it's who's going to be second in that division and claim a playoff spot it's going to come down to.
Wild. This is going to be a wild last 5 weeks around the league. I mean, in all places. Like, there's a lot of crazy shit that can happen.
From the start of the year, I was not predicting the season to come down to the last 5 games of the season. And you see this in the AFC South. You're seeing this in the AFC North with Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati now. Can Cincinnati have a shot? And I know we were joking about this last week, Pat, but after what they did against the Ravens, can they turn their season around?
The Ravens. I don't see that happening, bro. You know how perfect they got to play? They're 4-8 right now, Cincinnati.
Okay, but we were joking about it at the early portion of the year, where the Ravens were 1-5, and they were going into their bye week, and we said, can the Ravens turn their season around to make the playoffs? We were joking about this, and I said, imagine they start and came out winning back all their games. That happened, and
you want to hear the dumbest take, and you crucify me for this. Dumbest take, and I'm full on believing it, not even joking with you.
And they're undefeated the Bengals are undefeated with Joe Burrow at quarterback. They're 3-0 with him at quarterback.
Yeah. But the dumbest take I have about this division right now is the best looking team that I've seen is literally in last place out of this whole division. Because I don't like the way Baltimore's playing. They're playing completely dog. Pittsburgh is playing completely dog. Cincinnati, with Joe Burrow on their helm, looks okay, but their defense has been completely dog other than their last game. And then Cleveland, to me, their defense is the best defense on this division, and the only thing that's stopping them is the fact that I don't even think it's the quarterback. For me, the problem is they just don't have receivers. They need receivers and an offensive line and a new coach. That's all they need. I know it sounds like a lot, but they could honestly just kind of revamp here and there and really make out like bandits next year. I do think Shedeur Sanders should get the start for the rest of the season plus next year. I like him over Dylan Gabriel, even with their blowout loss. But no, I think Cincinnati, can they make the playoffs? I said it last week. It's a slim chance. They have to win 6 games straight. Now 5 games straight because they beat Baltimore, which I said they could do. They have another tough game this week against Josh Allen and the Bills, who admittedly, again, haven't looked the greatest either. They're another team that has been very wishy-washy on defense and on offense, depending on the game. And so, no, I can't even say that the Bills are going to be a lock for this game because, again, Joe Burrow under helm puts up an offense. Their defense might not always be the greatest, but I don't know. They looked inspired on Thanksgiving. They seem real thankful to have Joe Burrow back. Is that they were all saying around that turkey. They wanted that turducken, and Joe Burrow delivered with it. I mean, didn't look the greatest. There were
32 to 14. That's a pretty hefty score to come out and be like, hey, we're here to compete.
And the defense did good that game. The defense put up 5 turnovers against them. That's the best game that defense has looked in 2 years. Not even just this year, 2 years. It's the best defensive game they have looked with turnovers and everything against the Ravens. Then Pittsburgh, I've lost all hope in Pittsburgh. I don't think Pittsburgh has a shot in the dark. I mean, for me, Aaron Rodgers already is in his old man early game or early season form where he's like, all right, I've gone from this really happy-go-lucky hippie dude to I'm an angry grandfather now, and you guys all suck, and you need to listen to me. And the fact that you're not listening to me, he's putting his teammates on blast in interviews. I'm like, this guy is just so unhinged. It's like this man is just not. He's not what he was, and he's just never going to be. We just have to put that to rest at this point. If he doesn't retire this season, oh Lord, did Pittsburgh sign him for just 1 year? If they did, get rid of him. I'm sorry.
I have no clue.
He's not the only thing that's wrong with this division, with this team, but. Get rid of him. Just start fresh. Get the rebuild going. Fire Mike Tomlin. Give him to the Giants. And then just move on.
Here's another question, too. Can Miami come out of nowhere and make the playoffs? Because they've been on a hot streak recently. And it's like, how?
They're 5-7. They're literally only 1 game behind both the AFC North division leaders right now. The AFC South is all ahead of them right now. So the AFC South is looking like the NFC West right now in this day and age. And then you have Los Angeles, the Chargers. It's crazy.
Miami's on a 3-game win streak.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that they're on a 3-game win streak. What with Tyreek Hill not there? I don't know what happened with that division. I don't know what happened with the Miami Dolphins. Vic, you might know more about it, just because again it's your division. But I don't know what did happen here. They beat the Bills. Not sure what the hell happened there. They versed the Commanders.
I don't know what the hell's happened in that division, so don't even ask me. I mean, honestly, I don't know what the hell's going on. New England's in first place with whatever, 10 wins, 11 wins.
11-2.
What the hell? Buffalo looking kind of like, Miami's on a 3-win skid. Jets beat Atlanta. Don't know what the hell's going on in that division at all. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets won their last 5 and really there was really something to talk about in the AFC East. I'd be like, all right, well, that didn't surprise me at all from this whole debacle of a division here. It's not the way it was supposed to go down at all. It's supposed to be Buffalo first, Jets possibly second, New England dead last, and then Miami third or second. I don't know what the hell the scriptwriters wrote for this season. I had no idea New England was going to come out and blow 11 games out of their ass and take first place and make Josh Allen and the Bills look like chopped cheese over there. You know, I don't even have New England going far in the playoffs. I think they'll lose their very first game because they just ain't ready. They ain't got that experience. Oh, shit, the fuck?
That's New England, bro.
That's a real.
That was Drake May. That was Drake May letting you know right now.
Yeah, Drake May can go suck a donkey's ass, right? Because what's going on here? Come on! Oh shit! All right. Hold on. Like that? What, the dog's going berserk. He's like, bro, what the hell happened? Oh, the fan.
The fan knocked down your paintings?
I'm going to just shut up about New England now.
That's what happens to the Jets when they talk about New England. That's what happens
Fuck,
here.
Man. I fucking hurt.
Oh my god, that was perfect. There's always a good clippable moment when Vic's on the podcast. Always, at least one.
Yeah, let's try this again here.
I didn't even see where that other painting was. Where was that other painting the whole time? Has it always just been behind you?
Yeah.
Oh, I've always noticed the other line. I didn't realize the second one.
Oh, it's our newest edition. It has to get hung up in the bathroom. All right. It's not meant to be part of the podcast. I'm trying to get Jesus involved here. He's not of this worldly. But yeah, whatever, New England. They will lose their first game.
Oh my god.
The Ten Commandments might come down next. You say that one more time.
Yeah, that's crooked. The Ten Commandments thing is crooked now.
Yeah, see, it's all messed up. Everything all messed up now. You're all screwed. The ceiling's gonna fall. You're getting hit with the plague now, bro. He's got the plague coming out. Here we go. New England. That's a hot take because I do disagree though. I think that New England. Yeah, I mean they don't have the experience, but I honestly, what team right now that we see in the playoffs, it's a lock that has playoff experience that actually looks good. Kansas City's not even in the playoffs yet. Los Angeles is always a choke. You have the whole AFC South, which I think the Patriots could beat all three of them with their hand tied behind their back. I mean, the worst thing right now is what? Baltimore, the Bills. They've already beaten the Bills.
This whole AFC or this whole playoffs. Here's the question that I think I'm gonna have. Can we see 2 new Super Bowl teams?
That would be fun. I would love that. We've been asking this like every week, but who's your Super Bowl teams? Who do you have right now for your Super Bowl teams?
I had the Lions all year, and the Lions had just completely shot the bed in recent weeks, coming after their bye week.
They didn't even shit in it. They just shot in it. That's crazy. Would they shoot it with the gun?
I don't know. The Eagles have been looking like I don't know what the hell I can even say about the Eagles. They've been MIA all year. Can it be the Bears ending up in the Super Bowl? I don't know. And winning it? Because I don't think the AFC team's going to win the Super Bowl this year.
Bears versus Patriots, you're thinking?
Not even, because who knows what the Patriots are going to do in the playoffs.
So what do you guys have? What is your thing here, judging off of what we have right now? What do you have? I mean, even Kansas City could go on a run and come back, and they just haven't. Maybe
Denver, Seattle?
That would be a fire one. I would love that. We've already seen it, though, but I would love that.
We're but not with these 2 teams.
No, definitely not with these 2 teams. I would love to see that. Who do you have winning that if they did have to go?
That's going to be a defensive battle, in my opinion.
Okay.
It's going to be who has the better defense shows up in that first quarter. That's going to determine that game. Whoever makes the first stop in that game is going to win the Super Bowl.
Vic, are you hard at thought right now? What are you thinking right now for this Super Bowl lock? Who do you got? Not lock, but who do you have right now? Like who's the teams that make you feel good? Like which ones are you hitting here that go? You know what? I could see them right now making a good plausible Super Bowl run, like with the current standings and how everything goes. With the NFC side, it's just a hard thing to think about. Even the AFC, it is hard to think about because they're just all so bad. It's like who comes out on top on such a bad side right now?
Rams and Bills.
Wow, Rams and Bills.
If Kansas City doesn't surge back, because I did have them, and I still do think that they could make a run and sneak their way in, they're gonna put the Bills, man. Yeah, they'll have to go with the experience if the Bills get in, just because Josh Allen has been there countless times, and maybe the team ain't playing right, but playoffs is just totally different. It's one game at a time. Doesn't come down to anything that the regular season had to offer. It's literally one game elimination. And if I seen a Patriots Bills, I'm gonna go with Allen. Yeah, I can't not. And I've seen him fluke so many times in the AFC in playing against high-tier teams and quarterbacks, and I'm not putting Drake May in that conversation yet after one season of an easy schedule in the league. Just not doing it. It's too early. I cannot put him up there with Josh Allen and Mahomes and Josh Allen, Mahomes and Burrow. Just, like those caliber quarterbacks and Lamar. Like, I've seen Allen go there multiple times and lose to these teams with these quarterbacks at their highest level. I ain't saying Drake May ain't going and beating a team at their highest level with all that energy in a playoff run and going, and whether they're home or not, and beating one of these kind of caliber guys. Granted, they're not playing the best football right now. The Bills are going to take the Bills over the Patriots to move on if Kansas City doesn't find their way there, or Baltimore. Like, it's hard to say now, but I would definitely take Josh Allen over Drake May at a Super Bowl chance against the Rams.
Well, I mean, we'll see that shortly because they verse in 2 weeks. They have a bye week this week, and then they come off the bye versing the Bills. That's their first game back, and then have another easy kind of.
Are the Bills home for that game?
The Bills are away for that game.
And
they already beat the Bills at home.
And here's another thing you have to think about: if the Bills do make the playoffs, and they do, then they do have home field advantage.
I don't think the Bills don't make the playoffs. I think they
No, I mean, if they do have home field advantage in any of these games, you're gonna have. Will we see another snowball or another snow game?
I mean, it could. That's
high chance of it.
I mean, even New England over there, it's pretty goddamn snowy too. It gets snowy pretty often. I know that only because of like my former work, but it's like it snows a lot out there too.
Because they already have. Josh Allen already has the number against Lamar Jackson in playoffs. So you would have to give. If they play the Ravens, I would give it to the Bills.
Let's see if the Ravens even make it right now. At this point, let's see if they even make it. Right now, we have 4 huge elite quarterbacks that we talked about at the beginning of the season, and only one of them is in playoff contention right now.
Yeah.
So, like, or more so a
and
lock.
2 sophomores that nobody thought that they would be where they are today.
Not even close.
In Bo Nix and Drake May.
And then obviously the most elite quarterback in the league, taking up that spot with Trevor Lawrence. I think we have a big deciding factor. No.
Yeah, I know. And then you look at the NFC and you have a sophomore in Caleb Williams in playoffs. How will he adapt to the playoff atmosphere? Because if Chicago makes it, that Soldier Field is going to be rocking.
That's huge
for the first time in how long?
That'll be huge for them. I would love to see the Bears come out on top there. I think that Seattle for me is, and like going back to because I didn't even give my take, but for me, like I would love to see Seattle come out and make that, because I think that's more the probable thing for me right now. As I have seen, it'd be so fun the playoffs this year. I wouldn't, but I was going to ask that as my lightning round kind of question this week, and I'm going to revamp it because I kind of want to ask after I give the Super Bowl take here, which I think I'm going to take. I want to take Seattle, but I'm just going to go with a little bit of bias. I do like the Chicago Bears, so I'm going to take the Chicago Bears, and I want to see them versus the Patriots. I would love to see that matchup. I think it would be fun. Or I would love to even see, I don't think that's happening at all, but I would love to see a rematch between them and the Colts so that the Bears can win. Let's see them get that win. But yeah, no, I'll take the Bears and the Patriots, and as of right now, the way I'm looking at these teams, I like the way that Drake May's playing. I like the way their defense is playing. I like the way their offense is playing. I just like them. I don't know. I think you're right. If they go up against the Bills, they could very much lose against the Bills. But I've already seen it once this year against the Bills in their home, and they beat the Bills in home. So I mean, I'm gonna see what they look like after this bye week and kind of reevaluate that, but. Right now, I think I have them over the Bills at the moment just because I think the Bills are a little bit too shaky for me, a little bit too shaky. But I wanted to ask right now, is this the most exciting is this the most exciting season of the NFL that we've had in recent memory? Like, is there a more exciting season that you guys can ponder about? Can you guys think about that at all?
I can't say because every at the start of the year we all clearly thought it was going to go one way.
Because of the penalties.
This year has just completely shaken up, and it's just looking like a WTF kind of year. Like, how did we get here? And it's making it interesting.
I like it. I think this year is really exciting. For me, it's exciting on all fronts because one, the AFC is so bad that you're just wondering who's going to get in at this point. You're just like, it's just a dogfight to see who's the least amount of bad. And then the NFC is on a completely different scale. It's like which really good team is better than the other really good team. Every like divisional fight right now is basically a playoff match. It could all be seen as playoff matches. There's just a lot of good coming out of this conference, and I think it's just really exciting for me. It's a really good year for the NFL. I love it. I think it's great. I'm enjoying the hell out of it right now. Penalties and all. I think it's a great season at the moment with how the standings are. It's different. I'm looking at different things right now. I wasn't expecting Denver Denver. I think I said at the beginning of the year too. I think they were gonna win this division. Is what I actually said. And then I didn't have the Patriots. Patriots had dead last, so they proved me the hell wrong. So I mean, like, no picture fell on my head or anything like that, like Vic. But I mean, they did definitely prove me wrong though. So I don't know. I like it. I like the way they're looking. Vic, you have a thought on that? Or like, is this an exciting season for you? Granted, the Jets are out, obviously, but like, or maybe they could string along and go 8-9 and just somehow win.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's an exciting season for football just because the way the schedules and the teams have played and how tight the races are right now, and it can really go any way. It's hard to compare it to any other years. I really have to dig deep and search like what years were pretty amazing to me. But like, yeah, I mean, it's exciting year for football just because of how close it is with 5 games left. It could really go any way. Comes down to one team could lose 1 or 2 games and then knock them out. Another team could win 5 straight and knock them in. You know what I mean? Like, that's always exhilarating to be a fan in that situation of that team too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Cincinnati fans can have hope right now because if they win the next 5 games, they could sneak their way into the playoffs when they looked pretty grim, And New England fans who probably didn't think they were going to get 11 wins this year, don't you dare fall on me again, are sitting at first place in the division with plenty of cushion to lose games and still go in as the first seed. You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, definitely not the way I don't think any of us, same thing for Dallas fans. Like, great chance for them making a playoff run in that division when, it wasn't all there and didn't know what was going to happen. And you had all these other teams. You had Philly taking the lead in the division. You didn't know what the Giants were going to look like, that they might give to Dallas some struggles, and that might be a fight for 2. But here you are with the last 5 weeks of football, and it could literally go either way. So, yeah, it's definitely exciting for a lot of teams right now because for a lot of teams, these 5 games is what's going to tell who's getting in and who's not getting in. And it's really just a 1 game at a time deal because if one team wins 1 game and another team loses this game and you get all this help, that 1 game could crush your dreams, So, yeah, it's definitely an exciting season for NFL.
Yeah, and everybody say the playoffs always start in December, and you're seeing it play out right in front of our eyes.
This year more than most, I feel like, to me. There's just I don't know. It's a different atmosphere for me.
In previous years, we already had teams clinching playoffs with 5 games left.
Yeah.
We don't have 1 team clinched right now. So, yeah, it's coming down to these last 5 weeks.
Yeah, no, agreed. I think it's I think it's just a really exciting year for me. I don't know. I think it's fun. It's just a very, very, very fun year for me. And then I just want to jump into a small topic real quick, just a little small one. Speaking of the AFC, and Vic kind of touched on it. Cincinnati's hopes here. Right now, you know what? I kind of asked this last week to Dan, but Vic, if you're looking at the Cleveland Browns right now, right? Is Shedeur Sanders your QB going into next season? Do you think he looks like a good enough QB to where he could play? And if so, What did they go get in the draft this year? What is the Browns' take for this year? What did they go to get?
It's hard to answer that right now because I mean, look, he hasn't played with the first team yet. Yeah, they lost, right? He didn't turn the ball over. You know what I mean? He didn't play horrendous, but you know what I mean. Like, it's gonna take some time. Like, it's just 2 games that he's played. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's some things that he's done well, and there's some things that he's got to work on. And you know, I'm always gonna go back to it. Like, you got to let him finish the season. If this is gonna be your guy, like they announced him the starter for the next game coming up, like I can't say that they're gonna need a quarterback right now, but there are 5 games left and see what he has to offer. Like, they don't have to make a decision on a direction or which way they go in the draft. Give him these next 5 games to play, the rest of the schedule out, see where his strengths are, see where his weaknesses are. You know, there's differences in play to him and the other guy, Gabriel. You know what I mean? Like, they just, you know, the chemistry isn't there yet. You know, he even said it. He said it, and he knows it because he hasn't had the snaps and the reps to play with these guys and to establish that chemistry with the first team. You know, there's, you know, who goes to say, like, if he was practicing with the first team all season long and he got maybe an earlier start, maybe at this point in the season, maybe he does look more promising, or he does not look promising, and you know what direction you're going in, but you don't know because it's only been 2 games. So I still think it's a 1 game at a time basis for him to keep on proving and showing what he can do. And then you can evaluate the situation in another 3 or 4 games coming to the end of the season, whether he's going to be your guy or not. But, you know, I definitely think that he can perform and he's a competitor given the chance, though. You know, you got to just give him the chance to go out there and fail and see where he can excel in and see if he's the guy in your locker room that can take the next step or take a leap next season, you know, and progress. But I hope him nothing but the best, obviously, with his chance that he's got now. I've seen so many quarterbacks get a shot where they come in for 1 or 2 games and then their career doesn't get started till 3 or 4 years later down the line. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you know, you never know what you're going to get. Like, you know, he could come out and look like a Kirk Cousins who got his chance to play, didn't get his chance to play, got his chance to play pretty good. You know what I mean? Like an up and down seasoned vet where you can come in and play pretty consistent football with the right team built around you and the organization giving you a chance. Or you can just sink and just always become that backup quarterback that's always there who never really got his shot. So he's just, unfortunately, he has to make everything, all of his opportunities have to, you know, he has to pounce on all of them because they're in an easy situation where they can just be like, all right, we're going to go into the draft to grab another quarterback, and he's just going to be there until another team sees some value in him. But you're not going to know what you got. No one's going to know what he's got until they get some film out of him. You know, some real-time game film. You know, so it's just it's got to be a one game at a time deal. You know, yeah, that's all I got to say on it. I can't say where they're going to go yet. I just know they should continue to start him.
Yeah, I just try to throw you like a topic that we might have talked about like in a previous week or something like that, just kind of like to get your thoughts on it, especially if it's a big topic like a Shador Sanders kind of thing right now. Just in case, like, you know, if someone misses it, I'm gonna do the same thing for Dan too. If he ever misses like a thing, just gonna go over that. Like if we've talked about something on a previous week, I want to go over it with that person to see how they feel about it. Just kind of so everyone has their take on it, so I can, you know, we can kind of gauge on it, and anyone who's watching gets to, you know, actually see, you know, how everyone is feeling about these teams. All right. And then I have one last NFL topic real quick, and then we have one college one that I think Dan wants to speak about real quick after this, which I want to kind of jump in onto. This will probably be quick for everyone, but I want to talk about Jaxon Dart and the New York Giants. Jaxon Dart, and this has nothing to do with bias, just because of a quote that Jaxon Dart came out with, and I wanted to get your guys' take on this and whatnot. Which Jaxon Dart came out after last night's game against the New England Patriots, just freshly coming off of a concussion protocol, missed the last 2 games previous. He came out, he got hit pretty hard after taking a run. He went to the sidelines and whatnot, and he got hit pretty hard by one of the defenders. I forgot who hit him. I forgot who it was. You said what was his name?
Ellis.
Okay. So then Ellis hits him pretty hard on the sideline and whatnot before he steps out of bounds. which I want to talk about that as well, along with the quote here, which the quote from him was, at least from what I've seen, I haven't gone into the full interview, so don't crucify me here for this, but from the quote that I've seen, he said that I'm going to get hit hard, whether I'm in the pocket or out of the pocket. We're not playing soccer out here. And, they took the loss, was it 33?
He also said something else I'd like to add.
Which
was an idiotic comment. I've been playing like this my entire career. That was said.
Since high school.
First of all, what entire career? You're in the NFL. You played, 4 years in college? I don't know what career you're talking about. Your career just got started. I'll stop right there and let you guys proceed. But you ain't getting no good from me. He's an idiot. Yeah, he's got the swagger. We're talking about the next Tom Brady and Eli Manning between May and him. He ain't gonna have a career as Eli did because Eli knew how to slide. Okay. You are a runner when you leave the pocket. You want to run down the sideline like Jonathan Taylor and not go out of bounds when the guy is closing in on you? That's on you, bro. You're going to get in concussion protocol again. You just are too dense. He's been hanging out with Scatterboo too long. He got Scatterboo over there in the WWE, not even taking rest breaks. He's over there trying to body slam people, all right? This guy is going to be like another RG3 if he doesn't figure out what the hell's going on with how to slide and how to get out of bounds, okay? He's not going to have much of a career. He goes, yeah, this is the game we play. We get paid to do this. Okay, you're a quarterback. You are not a running back. You want to go put on number 6 and get in the backfield where Scatterboo is and run the ball, you can do that. John Gruden says it best, bro. And I think they did a bunch of clips together. He's like, bro, you are putting yourself in a bad position when you don't go out of bounds. What are you going to do? You're going to go and take a monstrous hit and get shellacked out of bounds, knock your head into the ground, blowing your shoulder up? Yeah. For an extra half a yard? Or you could just go out of bounds and maybe the guy hits you and you get a penalty. That was not a bad hit, in my opinion. That's football, right? He's a runner. He knows exactly what the hell he's doing. You want to try and drop your shoulder and hope you get a call? Like, you could have stepped an inch out of bounds and the play would have been whistled dead. But no, you want to go and think you're a trucking... What do you think, you're Josh Allen? Like... Bro, Josh Allen runs up the middle and trucks guys. That ain't you, bro. Yeah, you're fast and you got legs. Utilize them.
Yeah, but he gets out of bounds and slides, too. Josh Allen.
He does, because he's not an idiot. And he's also got like 25, 30 pounds on this guy. Like, bro, you ain't Josh Allen. Josh Allen has a career in the NFL, okay? He's been doing this, and he's not an idiot, bro. Josh Allen. Bro, I'm not going to even compare these two because there is no fucking comparison. I'm not taking out. Dart's been great for the Giants, His energy has been great for them. You need to smarten up, bro, because you ain't going to have much of a career there. You're over here, your decisions are getting guys fired. You're over here giving the wrong output to your team here, that you're willing to do whatever it takes and put your body on the line to win. That's a great way to be, but if you ain't playing in the games, you ain't helping your team, and you ain't helping yourself. And other teams are going to be like, bro, we don't want this guy. This guy's a nut job, okay? He's got great things about him. He really does. But why can't you just be a safe quarterback and get out of bounds? What is that half a yard extra? What did you take? And I don't even think it's about the half a yard. I think it's the ego that he can take the hit and get up. That's the idiotic mindset. That's the mindset that is going to get you hurt and get you benched. And it's when it's going to keep you from having a long, successful career in the NFL. Yeah, a lot of guys do take hits, the QBs, but it's like he goes out and he wants to get hit, bro. That's what it is. Like, bro, there's no reason why he didn't step out of bounds there. That's all ego. His ego is through the roof. What, because you play in New York, you got the swagger. Like, bro, learn from your mistakes, bro. You got concussion protocol. You ain't playing in Little League football. These guys will knock your bird off, bro. Like, that hit was hard as hell. That was a hard hit. He went flying about 5 yards off the sideline, landed on his shoulder, banged his head to the ground, and got up. It was like... Yeah, and was gotten up like, yeah. Like, no, bro, you're not right in the head right now. You think you're good. Your brain just got boggled up in your fucking skull, dude.
Vic, not only that, but he also went airborne. He went airborne and went 5 yards.
Flying. It looked like a lion leaping at a gazelle in the Serengeti or something, bro. It was like, You know what I mean? And he got up like, yeah, did you see that? I would be like, yeah, I saw that. You didn't go out of bounds, bro. What are you doing? The linebacker just flung you 7 yards out of bounds. Like, bro, come on. It's uncalled for, bro, because you're putting yourself in a bad situation. Like, that team needs you. Who do you got behind you? Russell Wilson's old ass? And whoever the hell else is there? Like, yo, he's a big matter on that Giants team. When it comes to energy, when it comes to success, like, he can do a lot with his legs, but, like, you got to be smart, man. Like, you are a fast quarterback, and you got a good arm. Like, there's a lot of good about him, you know? But, like, you're taking unnecessary hits, bro. Like, learn from these past quarterbacks that thought that was the way and ain't playing no more because of it. Because it's gonna cause the coaches to be like, yo, this guy's great, but he puts himself at risk, man. And then the risk worth the reward, right? Because now it's like, I'm thinking about me. I'm not thinking about the team. Because now if you got to go in concussion protocol again, you're being selfish. Oh, I went out there and I took a hit from that guy. Did you see me get flung 7 yards, but I got out like nothing? Yeah, but now you're out 2 games because of concussion protocol, and the Giants lost 2 games because they had Russell Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think like that, bro. You got to think, you want to win. Yeah, you could be a competitor. You got to want to win, bro. Don't be doing stupid shit. Got to slide. Get out of bounds. That's the ego, bro.
To piggyback off what Jaxon Dart on this topic, I've been saying this since Jaxon Dart has played, and we saw it week after week. He's limiting his career, taking these big hits, or unnecessary hits too, and he's just limiting his career, like Vic is saying. He's taking these unnecessary hits that shouldn't be taken just to gain, what? A half inch? Or not even a full yard? He's taking these unnecessary hits when sliding, can even put you at more, can gain you an extra yard or 2 if you slide and get touched. He's limiting his career. And if he keeps doing this, he's going to have a very short year in the NFL, and the Giants are going to be right back to where they need to be in a draft where they're going to have to rely on getting a quarterback again. This should not be a conversation we should be having when you're a rookie and you're just taking these big hits when your job, like Vic said, is a quarterback. Your job is to be in the pocket, getting out, not taking these unnecessary hits, and gaining the extra yards and not putting your body on the line. He's putting his body on the line, and he's going to end up, and like, I don't even know, because maybe he is hanging out with Scatterboo too much, and he's getting this, oh, I can do this, and his ego is taking over, and just, oh yeah, I can body a linebacker. Bro, if you were playing in the era of James Harrison, Troy Polamalu, you would be dead right now. Or even Sean Taylor back there. These guys would kill you in their era of the NFL. And we don't have that courtesy besides last week or this past weekend where Ellis did hit somebody like one of those big time hitters back in the day. We don't normally see those kind of hits on quarterback nowadays because they're so protective of sliding, gaining out of bounds. And he comes out and makes this stupid, idiotic comment. Dude, this is about your longevity in the NFL. This is setting you up for success, not failure. You sliding or getting out of bounds is setting you up for success, not failure. He's setting himself up for failure right now. I don't care how good he is as a pocket or a running back. I don't care if you can gain me 5 yards. What's that going to do if you're injured for 15 games?
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna promptly give my hot take here. I don't blame Jaxon Dart. I blame him for not sliding when he needs to slide. I do agree that there are certain times where I feel like you need to slide or take that step out of bounds. Like last night, I don't think the hit was bad. I wish I seen more in the NFL against QBs because we never see that kind of contact against an elite QB, someone that's already established. You'll never see that hit on someone like a Patrick Mahomes. Straight up, you won't. That's a penalty. Everyone's been joking about that for years. A play like that, I think we even seen it this year, was a penalty called on someone like a Patrick Mahomes. I do think the hit is good. Perfectly fine. Him taking the hit, not perfectly fine. I don't agree. I don't like the hit. But I think the thing I disagree with is the fact that I don't think he's not going to have longevity in this team or in the NFL in general. And my reason for that is because I think that when you look at who he is as a whole, right, this kid is not looking to run. I don't think he's looking like he wants to run. He runs because he has no choice but to in some cases. His wide receivers can't get open worth anything. He knows they're going to drop it. I mean, he had his best receiver yesterday was Darius Slayton for 41 yards, and he only got 2 receptions off 3 targets. Like it's just, the receiving core isn't there, the line isn't there, and they need that to make sure this kid doesn't run. If you want him to have a good career, like any good QB, you need to make sure they're able to stay in that pocket. But then if they stay in the pocket and they don't throw the ball, well, now we just say, oh, well, he can't get the read off, or he can't, or he's just not good enough to play in the NFL. We look at players like that if they don't run the ball. This kid he kind of scrambles a lot. They're in the 2-point conversion they did yesterday against the Patriots. The kid was scrambling around, making sure he doesn't take the hit, hiding behind his lineman, running around, evading the pocket, doing everything, and then threw the ball, got a great pass off to Darius Slayton for the 2-point conversion. This team just needs to build around him properly, and I think he won't really run as much because I don't think he has the mindset to actually want to run, but I think when he goes in there, yeah, I do think he does act like a Josh Allen, but he actually thinks he's more so bigger than that. I feel like he thinks he's like a Ben Roethlisberger. I think this guy thinks he is a big QB, and that could be an issue. But the problem with the Giants is they need to make sure it's not an issue. Get this kid some talented receivers. Give him someone other than Neighbors, because they need someone that can play the short ball that can actually like give you the yards. They need I know I keep comparing the two teams because they're New York teams, but it also is because I think that combination of 1 and 1 would be so efficient on any team, which would be Malik Neighbors and a Garrett Wilson, because I think they play so opposite, and it's like a New York Giants and a New York Jets. They just play so opposite as to where you're going to play them on wide receiver, that I think that helps your QB out so much when you have this kind of effective thing. We've seen it with Dallas on how they have a short and a long ball now with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens out there. Giants need that. Giants don't have anyone like that. We have Darius Slayton as our number 1 right now. That's not good. They have no one to throw it. There's no one that's getting off their routes. There's no one that's making their cuts. No one that's doing anything. So you're either running the ball or you're giving it to your running backs, which is the reason why we see people like him or Scatterbo getting injured, is because they have no choice but to run this ball. Otherwise, they're not getting yards, period. And yeah, I get it. Longevity. You don't win. You're not going to win games if your guy's out. 100%. But you're not going to win games as well if you don't try. The kid's got the heart for it. He does have swagger. It's more than just swagger, but the kid has the heart to go out there and get the yards that he knows his team is not going to give him. Because I can't imagine, they're 2-11 right now. The record's already crap, right? But I can't imagine how bad his stats would look if he had to just chuck this ball away out on the side because no one's open. I can't imagine where we would say this kid is if he was just throwing it away, because that's what would 90% of these passes be, would just be thrown away, thrown away, thrown away, because the line is constantly giving them a chance to come in and he has to scramble. The line is constantly giving up plays, especially on that right side, where they're just going, all right, we're going to smash through your shit, and here we come, Dart. And you guys have no receivers to go through because Darius Slayton can't catch a ball if it's not in the air. And it can't be on the ground. It can't be something where he's going to jump because he's too afraid to. It has to be in his hands in the breadbasket right here in order for him to catch it. And that's the only way he's catching it. Wan'Dale Robinson's good, but now teams know to look out for him because he is the only guy on that team that's really a threat to me, in my opinion, that could actually catch the ball, which is the reason why he got 8 targets and he caught 7, but he can't get the yardage. They're all over him. He had 34 yards yesterday on 7 catches. He had that's the least amount out of any of the wide receivers that came out here that actually caught the ball more than once. And then Theo Johnson can't hold on to the ball to save his life. The kid is just not. I'm sorry. I don't like him. I do not like him. Get rid of. Just put Fedoni in there. You drafted him. Put his ass in there. But they're not going to give up on him. Unfortunately, he's going to stay. But that's just my opinion. I just think that Dart doesn't have the surroundings around him to make him not have to scramble. That's just my thought. I think if he doesn't have to scramble as much, he won't. You'll see him be a pocket passer. But this line and this offense as a whole needs to be fixed so he doesn't have to do this kind of stuff as much. They're not, like that's just my thoughts here.
My whole thing is, yes, you can be a scrambling quarterback. We have seen it with Lamar Jackson. We have seen the scrambling quarterback in the NFL. I don't care. These scrambling quarterbacks still use their sidelines as an advantage. They use their slide as an advantage. You can still save yourself from getting injured by doing those and saving your longevity.
Yep.
Whether you have an O-line or not,
on.
you can still get down and save yourself.
A lot of this
It's
I don't
about
know,
protecting yourself.
Go ahead.
I don't
He's
disagree
not
with anything you said, Pat. But there's a fine line between, and I know he does have heart. There's a fine line between effort and stupidity. I know you say he's forced to run to get these yards, and he wants to put everything he's got out there to get these yards, you know. But I still think he's a little arrogant, bro, because it's like, if you didn't want to run the ball, you already had the first down. Why didn't you step out of bounds? You know, why put yourself in the position to take the hit? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you needed to run to get the yards. You got the yards. You got the first down. Now you're playing on a fine line of effort and stupidity because you're just putting yourself in a position. Maybe, yeah, you want the flag. Oh, I can eat this hit and get the flag. Or it doesn't matter what it is. It's a fine line what he's playing with. It's a dangerous line he's playing with. He doesn't have everything he needs to be that pocket passer. So he has to go out and he has to perform. And we know he's got the legs to do it. But even besides yesterday, like, I've seen him run up the gut, bro. And like, instead of he's got the first down, just take the knee and go down. That effort, right? That heart. He wants to keep going. But it puts you in a situation where you jeopardize your team. You know what I mean? It's not just you. You're jeopardizing your team, man, because they need you. You coming in with that swagger, that confidence to be able to bring your team up to a level to want to play hard the way you're playing for them. You got to do it in a way that is sustainable, man. You know what I mean? Like, he does have the heart and he wants to play hard. You know, it's just like you got to try and eliminate. I've seen him run up the gut and instead of taking the slide or at least trying to drop down after that first down, run straight into a safety gunning at him, you know, and try and lick him.
I don't disagree with that. I've never said that the kid shouldn't slide or use his sideline. I said the hit yesterday was good. He didn't step out of bounds. That was his own fault. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm disagreeing with the fact that I said I disagree with the longevity comment. Because for me, the longevity comment is going to come, unless it happens this season, because you could expect they're gonna definitely fix that in this offseason. 100% in my eyes. They're going to go straight for someone like a wide receiver that could actually come out here and perform something. And they're also going to get an O-line in that second round, in my opinion. That's how I have it. They're first and second going to offensive line and wide receiver. That's what I have it as. But they need something on there that could help him stay in, because the kid will throw. He can throw the ball. It's just, he just hasn't. But like, what I do think when he gets that first down, and a lot of them, I was going to comment on the whole sideline thing. It's really not even, he's not running to the sideline often. He usually just tends to run up the gut. He runs up the gut more than anything.
Yeah.
And that's what hurts him, but he needs that first down. He's never getting that on the sideline. He understands he's got to run through him if he's going to get that first down. He's just got to slide at that point. And I don't disagree with that. He does need to slide. He does have the arrogance to him. There is an arrogance to him that thinks, like, all right, I'm in this position. I want to get like a big play. Let me be on like an NFL highlight. And then it just doesn't end up being that way because he gets hit. I don't disagree with that at all. That was not my point here. My point was this team.
No, I know it wasn't. I was just stating that. I agreed with what you said.
That's what I was talking towards Dan's point there. It's like, so I just think that for me, it's they just do need to build around him so he doesn't have to run nearly as much. Because again, with Scatabo here, he's not doing that play most of the time. If he has Scatabo on a running play, he's going to chuck it to him. Or he's going to throw it to him. We see how many times did Scatabo catch that ball, even just off a screen play or whatever. It was hard. But he wasn't running nearly as much. This team needs to build around him in order for him to not to scramble. And when he does scramble, like I said, he does need a slide. He does need to take the out of bounds. I'm not disagreeing with that at all. But I don't think he's going to have a short career here at all. I think he will be successful. Even after a concussion protocol, my worry, and honestly, I know this is a bad take probably, but my worry is he was going to come out and play scared. And he didn't. He came out here going, I still want to win this damn football game. Whether it's going to cost or not, we're already 2-11. I don't want to give up. I still want to come out here and win. He was mad when people weren't doing what they had to do. He was playing the way he needed to play. I just felt like, yeah, obviously a hit or two, he needs to take the out of bounds. Not disagreeing with that. The hit was good from Ellis. Good hit. I don't disagree with it at all. Perfectly fine with that. It should happen to any QB in the league. They should not be untouchables. I mean, for your own team, they should be untouchables, but they should not be untouchables to the enemy. There's no reason why Ellis doesn't go ahead and take that hit, unless you want to just push off, like you just want him to push him to the sideline. But that, again, that's not the way it goes. You're gonna do that to any player that's there, running back, wide receiver. You're gonna do it to them. You got to do it to your QB too. Don't just push off. I don't care how valuable their position is in the NFL. If you're inbounds, you're playing it as a runner. You're getting hit as a runner. That's my eyes. That's how I'm playing it. If I'm a defender, I'm hitting Dart the same exact way. And I love Dart. I think Dart's a great QB. They need to build around them. They got to come in and build around them. Give him the team so he doesn't have to run. Because I guarantee you, this kid goes from playing like a Lamar Jackson not even Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's very smart, and he's the best runner out of an NFL quarterback, period. But but what's it called? But he plays like a Josh Allen, but he just doesn't slide. He has the arrogance, but he doesn't have the smarts there with it. But I think he also could be a pocket passer indefinitely by itself with the right pieces around him and not having him forced to scramble. He will scramble when he needs to, and he just needs to learn to slide next season. But someone on this coaching staff has to go ahead and be a little bit more disciplined with them with that, because I think what's his name? Dayball was just too scared to get his job fired, so he didn't care what Dart had to do to win a game. He just said, "Listen, kid, I'm almost on my way out. Can you please, I don't care. You got to gun it." And now he's got Kafka there. Not Kafka. Is it Kafka? Who's the new head coach? Kafka's out there, and the team, I think, right now doesn't care, because we've seen it with that, and then as well as the other draft pick that the Giants got, which is Abdul Carter, who has now been benched twice since Kafka's been around, because he is yet to come to team functions properly. He's not coming to practice on time. He's not doing that. And that's twice now he's done it. He got benched the first drive altogether because he's not making practices. You wanted Lawrence Taylor's number. You wanted LT's number when you got in this league because you made such bold claims. You wanted to come in like that. I don't mind if you got the confidence. I appreciate the confidence. I appreciated someone like Shedeur Sanders or Jaxon Dart's confidence when they came into it. I do think cockiness could lead to something. Like, I don't want you just claiming you're the best already when you haven't even reached it. I didn't even like Caleb Williams when he said that the other year. Like, I want NFL ownership into your team if I'm going to come play. That's just, prove your shit first before you step in it. That's just dumb. But I think that when you come in here and do that, meanwhile, you're not even showing up for practice, you're not an LT. You're a lesser version of what Shaq is at that point. Because Shaq never gave the effort, but he was a dominant guy. You don't want to give the effort, and you're not dominating, then what are you doing? Now you're just cocky for no reason.
Yeah, but Shaq also matured as his career went on.
But that's what I'm saying. But Abdul Carter hasn't. Abdul Carter's just gone, I'm not showing up for practice, or I'll be late. It's not a big deal. But then
back on your Jaxon Dart statement, and I'm not saying I don't disagree with what you're saying. I'm just saying we have seen time and time again Jaxon Dart doing this with Cam Scatterbo back there with people, and they have designed runs for Jaxon Dart.
Yeah, runs or whatever.
No matter what you're gonna look at, he's still gonna. Will he be more of a pocket passer? Absolutely, but he will still be a running quarterback. Whether it's this year, next year, or years to come, he will still be a running quarterback because that's part of his play.
I don't think so. I think they're going to limit it as much as possible because they see how he wants to play. I think the coach is going to be like, all right, if you want to be the running guy, then we're going to let you know that this is not going to happen next year. Unless you get the discipline, you're not coming out this year and running. That's what I think they're going to do. They're not going to just continue going, hey, you're not listening to us, because apparently he's been talked to about it already. He's still not listening. So the next year, guess what? You're not playing on the running side. We're not giving you designed runs. We're not doing that. They're giving them designed runs this year because they have no offense.
I don't think that's how the NFL works, but okay.
We can. What do you mean that's how the NFL works? That's not. What do you mean that's not the NFL? It's not the. It's the way. I think if you're going to get punished for something, you're going to get punished for it. When Abdul Carter, literally their third overall pick, just got benched for not listening. He obstructed twice now, got benched the whole thing, and then he got benched again. I'm assuming the next time he does that, if it happens again this season, he's probably not playing the game. And we're going to see next year Abdul Carter's frustrated with his play here in New York or whatever, and then it's going to be a Brian Burns situation where he just wants off the team. Or like it's just going to be one of those things. Jaxon Dart's the same way though, but I don't think they're going to run it nearly as much next year if this kid's not going to listen. You don't want to put the effort into to listening, to learning, and to not sliding or diving or dipping, whatever. You could dodge a player, you could dodge a wrench. Like I don't. If you can't do all that, if you're not listening to the guy, you're getting benched. Not benched. Sorry, they're not going to bench Jaxon Dart, but they're going to at least make sure that he doesn't run the ball nearly as much. At least I think they're going to punish him for doing that. One way or another, they will find a way, whether it be less designed QB runs or whatever. But this kid needs to show in the offseason that he's going to slide. They're going to have a whole offseason with him now, knowing what they know and going, slide. Practice it, but slide. Go out of bounds. Don't just slide. Make sure you're doing that. I don't care if it's practice. Slide. Go out of bounds. Something. But if he doesn't, I don't see them running many running plays with him in this next coming year. They got to just build up that offensive line, and they got to build up the wide receiver core. Personally, they need something over there that gives them life. Period. Shit, dude. Whew. I did not expect that topic to go nearly as long as it did, and we're already like at a very long length here. So if you want to give your quick take on your college topic, real quick, if you want to talk about Kiffkin, what's called leaving his legacy. Real quick, I want to hear what you have to say about it.
Yeah, this is a guy that's been with Ole Miss ever since 2020 as the head coach, and he's built this team up for success. He started in 2020 with them where they went 5-5, and then missing the college playoffs. Then they built up to a team that were 6-2 in 2021, or 10-3. My bad, making outside looking in again, but they come to a team this year that is now 11-1 in college playoffs. And as you're going into the college playoffs, you chose to walk away from this team to go for the head coaching job at LSU. And I get LSU is an SEC team where that's where you're going to make your name in the most of it at LSU and not Ole Miss. But Ole Miss is also in the SEC. And I think this is more of a slap in the face to the players than anything else, because these are players you chose to be on your team and to build up and to give them a chance as making or being NFL players. And you're just saying, oh, I would rather go to the money. And yeah, I get it. You always want to set up your family members for success and for a future. So I don't blame him for his decision, but I just think this is more so a slap in the face to your players, and more so the whole discussion around college football where people run towards the money. And this is absolutely true because you're seeing it with a team that's playoff bound and they're losing their head coach. And now what's going to happen to them? Are they going to be a team that's going to compete in the playoffs or not? So you're basically slapping your players in the face, giving them less hope, and you're choosing a new team to just take over mid-season and at the prime of the season, where it's the playoffs. So I don't necessarily blame him. I just think that this is more so, like I said, more so of a slap in the face to the players. And should he have gone to LSU? Absolutely, but when you're with Ole Miss and you built this team up for success, I say you stay there, but he chose LSU, and I don't blame him for it, but it's just a whole discussion around college football where everybody's going to go to the money, and you're seeing it more and more so every year that comes around.
All right. Well, I mean, yeah, I think money is a big factor. It's a whole lot you could honestly say about that. I think it's just legacy over money. If I don't know how college players get paid. I know that they weren't at one point, and now they are.
It's all NIA deals and endorsed or advertisements and stuff like that.
So for me, I don't know. I say for me, I'm going where like if my legacy is already cemented, yeah, I'll take the money. At that point, if I already had the legacy there, if I've been there for years and years and years or whatever, I might take the money at that point. I don't know, but it just really depends. I don't think it's just college. I think it happens with any sport really. If you're gonna get paid more, you're probably gonna go there. I mean, a lot of teams are doing it now, especially this day and age. No one really sticks with one team anymore. But yeah.
And apparently the rumor is that Eli Manning might be the head coach at Ole Miss.
Oh, shit, that'd be great.
So
That'll be
Coach
nice.
Eli is gonna. Who knows? We might see Eli coaching in the NFL soon.
Do you mean in the? Wait, what?
Well, in college, but he might
Okay. I
have
think you
a
said in the
coaching.
NFL. Okay,
If he
gotcha.
does good in college, he might have a. Who knows where we might see him? He
We'll
might
see.
have a coaching job in the NFL at some point.
Yeah, that'd be kind of crazy, huh? But yeah, what's it called? We're gonna wrap it up here. We've been going on for long enough. That was like a lot. I wasn't expecting the whole Jaxon Dart topic. I thought you guys were gonna say
Not
like
even
1, 2 things
that.
apiece.
The whole playoff picture was.
Yeah, but that was whatever. I expected that one to be long. That was like the topic we were choosing. The Jaxon Dart was like, I'm gonna just sprinkle real quick. Like, yeah, how do you guys feel? I didn't expect Vic to like have like a 14-minute monologue, you to go off. It's like I thought you could be quick, like 1, 2, 3, and we'll just move on.
I told you at the start I had a lot to say about that.
That was literally like an extra 30 minutes that we just tacked on. I wasn't expecting that. But yeah,
and then the whole Vic debacle.
Guys, get your phones ready. Get your phones ready here, or your standings records, because the lightning question for today is: at the NFC, who are the NFC division leaders for you at the end of the season? Who do you have going into this? And right off the rip, 1, 2, 3, rip the Band-Aid off. For me, I'm gonna take the Eagles, the Bears. I'm gonna take Carolina, oddly enough, and I'm gonna take the Seahawks winning their divisions.
These are just division winners in the NFC.
Division winners in the NFC.
You want to go, Dan, or you want me to go?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Cowboys winning the NFC East. I'm gonna take the Bears winning the NFC North. Carolina winning the NFC South, and the Rams winning the NFC West.
Whew. All right.
I know the Dallas is a shocker.
Eagles in the East, Bears in the North, Bucks in the South, Rams in the West.
Damn. Okay. All right. Hey, well, that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed the 10th episode here of the podcast. If you guys enjoyed it, as usual, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching along, and we'll see you guys again next week with another episode of BSBN Podcast. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys.
Peace out, guys.
Have a good one.